Hey everybody, welcome to Driver Studio. Today, once again, I'm going to tell you a story about me purchasing a car. What a surprise. Years ago, I went to school for auto body repair and refinishing. That is what started my fascination with cars. I've always kind of loved cars, but when I went into school for doing auto body and paint, that's when I really started to see the change, and I thought, I've got to get another one and change it up. I constantly wanted to get a new car and play with it and do something different. So, I had a great teacher, but every now and then he would have to call in a substitute. The substitute teacher was from a custom car shop. Great guy. He knew that I was big into Oldsmobiles, which I've always been into Cutlasses and 442s. I love the G-body platform. One of my favorites, 78 to 88s, they rule. Anyways, so this teacher, the substitute teacher, he said, Matt, you're not going to believe this. I just picked up a really cool 442 Cutlass. And I said, man, tell me all about it. So he says, well, my neighbor had this car stolen. I thought, oh man, that's terrible. He says, yeah, the guy was the original owner of the car, bought it brand new, has had it ever since. Somebody stole it out of the driveway. I thought, oh man, what a bummer. And he says, but no, check this out. This guy ends up having the car returned. The police find the car, check it out. Some people had bought the car, did some custom paint to it, some wheels and some other stuff. They were driving the car around, they got pulled over, and they ended up finding out, hey, this car's been reported stolen. Cops return him the car, he gets it back. Now he's concerned that since this car's been custom painted, it's a beautiful car still, not anything drastic, but since the car's been custom painted, it has these custom wheels and no longer has the original wheels, it's gonna stick out more and maybe he's gonna upset the people that are affiliated with the people who stole the car. So he decides to sell it to my substitute teacher. So my substitute teacher has it, and of course I fall in love with it. I think, man, this is a super cool car and blah, blah, blah. He ends up trading it in for another vehicle at a dealership. Small world. It happens to all of us. A person that works at a dealership, I'm actually acquaintances with. He ends up financing the car at the dealership. So he has the car for a little while. He ends up wrecking the car. When he wrecks the car, does the insurance, blah, 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 gets the car back, and the car is actually sitting in a storage lot. And he says, hey, if you can help me out, I'm going to get insurance, blah, blah, blah. It'd be great if you would buy the car, get it out of the storage lot so I don't incur any more fees. And I said, yeah, let's do it. I'd love to buy it and get these extra parts. So I buy the car. The car's totaled, unfortunately. So I buy the car, bring it home here, and start to take parts off of that I want for one of my Oldsmobile Cutlasses. So I start taking it apart, use these parts, everything works out great, and I decide the parts that I don't need them sitting around here. I have enough junk as it is, and this would be a great time for my wife to pan around just in the garage. But anyways, so I decide I'm going to sell some of these parts online. We'll leave that website's name out of this. They're a little bit of a competitive website. But anyways, so I put these parts up for sale, and lo and behold, somebody calls me up and he says, hey, I know these parts are from a car that one of my friends owned. And I said, okay, what are you getting at? He says, car was stolen. And I said, well, what are you getting at here? I don't necessarily jive with this story. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, I know the real story about the car because I, knew the original owner in a roundabout way. And I said, well, you're more than welcome to come out here. I don't have any other parts. And all I can tell you is I purchased these parts legally. And you can see my other car. It's not the same car. All I have is these parts. So he comes out, and of course, I'm super concerned. And I call my dad up, have my backup. Comes over here, everything works out okay. But needless to say, I was still quite scared, nervous. And I thought, what have I got myself into this time? Because I always try to do good deals. I believe in good karma. I want to help people out as much as I can. Just make sure transactions with automobile sales and purchases and stuff go well. So he comes out and he ends up saying, this one piece has been custom painted and my brother custom painted that. And I'd really like to have that piece. I don't know if he had some sentimental attachment to that piece or what, but he almost made it seem like it was a little bit sentimental. And I said, you know what, man, just so we have no concerns, no problems, you're more than welcome to take that part, just so we're square. So he takes that part home with him, and everything worked out good. But it's just one of those things that you have to think about when you're doing a car deal. You never know what's going to kind of happen on the back end of things. You want to make sure that you try to be as honest with people and as upfront as possible, just so everybody's clear. You don't want to misrepresent, misunderstand somebody, or take something the wrong way. Because unfortunately, you just don't know who you're working with, who you're dealing with. And when you're talking about even a couple $1,000s, that's a lot of money to people. And you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So hopefully you get something from the story. If not, just a little bit of entertainment. Thanks for checking it out. Driver Studio. See you next time. Later.